Welcome to my channel, Gopabandhu Karmakar. Today again, I will teach you class 9 English. Detailed text, the priceless gift. I went to a vegetarian restaurant. It was lunchtime. There were people eating and drinking. The restaurant was very crowded. I saw that some of the chairs and tables had been pushed into a corner. I chose the corner tables, seated myself, and started skimming through the newspaper. This is all about the paragraph, the first paragraph. The first paragraph is all about a person. We don't know what his name is, but a person who went to a vegetarian restaurant. Restaurant means hotel. We are vegetarian means food item related to vegetable are only served. So a person who went there, I don't know which name is. In the end we will also get to know that his name is Mr. Gupta. We will get to know it later. It was lunch time. So the time when that person who entered to the restaurant, that time was lunch time. There were people eating and drinking, but the people are very busy. They are busy eating and drinking. The restaurant was very crowded, and restaurants are very crowded because people are busy eating and at lunch time, and people are busy eating and drinking. So that restaurant was very busy, very crowded. I saw that some of the chairs and tables had been pushed into a corner. That person who entered to that restaurant, he found that some of the chairs and tables had been put into a corner. All the tables and chairs have been placed at the corner of that room. He got to know that. He found that person. I stood means he selected. I means what? That person, Mr. Gupta. And later we will get to know that. I chose the corner table. Means Mr. Gupta chose selected, picked up a corner. A table which is situated at the corner. Seated himself, he found himself set. He seated himself, established himself, placed himself, plotted himself, and started skimming through the newspaper. Just putting his eye on the headlines. Skim through to look at. Just to look around the headlines on the newspaper. He was skimming through the newspaper. This is all about the first paragraph. The first paragraph is all about a person who is entering to the restaurant, and he found that a restaurant was very busy. People are eating and drinking, and he found also some of the chairs had been put into the one corner. And he selected one of the chairs over there and sat down and started skimming through the newspaper. This is all about the first paragraph. ताले ओडिया कहबा हले डेफिनेटली जणे लोक अछन जे कि रेस्टोरेंट गले आ मध्याह्न समय खाइबा समयटा लोक माने बहुत बिजी थिले खाइबा पीबारे आ सेते से देखा चेयर गुडे को सब कॉर्नर को अछि को गोटे कोन को रखा आइतला से सेफ्टी लोक माने खाउतले पिउतले तो सेते से गोटे चेयर सिलेक्ट करले बसी गले आ नीचे परते आके उले तले दिस इज ऑल फर्स्ट paragraph. At that moment I noticed a very young girl looking at me. Her eyes were large and they had a sad expression. At the time of that people being eating and drinking. At the time when he found himself sitting at the corner of the table and skimming through the newspaper. During that time he found a girl who was looking at it. I noticed a very young girl. He found a very young girl looking at him. At it means at that person who entered was now found sitting. Her eyes were large and they had a sad person. Her eyes were very large. The girl was looking at him suspiciously. Her eyes are very large, and they had a sad question. And they had means what? Those eyes had sad question. It means it seems to be that girl seemed to be very disturbed and strange person who seemed to be a thoughtful person being disturbed or carried away with some thought or some problem. So her eyes are very big, and her eyes indicate that she has been cultivating some problem. She seems to have been nourishing some problem. That's why her eyes were large and they had a side person. The eyes had side person. As she was going out, she asked the cashier in a low voice. When just in a position to go out, after having finished her eating, then when she was just in a position to leave that room, cashier in a low voice, she asked the cashier in a low voice, and that is something also got to know by the author. Is that gentleman an Indian? This is something a question. This is the question being put up by that girl to that cashier about that man. Is the gentleman an Indian? She asked. That disturbed girl asked. Disturbed girl asked the cashier about that man. Means that man about the writer. The question was whether that man means that author was an Indian. This is all about. Then the cashier replied. Again, we will say that when I will discuss the grammar, I think so. The answer came. I think so. Who said this? The cashier being asked. He said, I think so. The cashier replied. The girl looked at me once more and went out. After having the answer, the question being asked to the cashier and answer being given by cashier, and he also imagined that maybe he was the writer, he was the Indian, he was the writer. I think so. Then in the last time, just the girl looked at once more and departed and got away. The death from the restaurant. It surprised me. Why? What was the matter? Her interest in me aroused my curiosity in her. When I had finished my lunch, I asked the waiter, "Do you know the girl who was sitting out there?" Really, her activity, having sharp look at close look, or very investigating look, or to the author, really brought in many questions. He was also confused to have that girl being offering this kind of intention or attitude, being offered this kind of attitude. Therefore, that all the activity being committed by the girl put the author into a great dilemma, a great confusion, and finding himself or letting himself thinking about what was the matter of that girl and why he was looking at him, why she was looking at him. So that surprised him. It surprised me, means that activity surprised him. What was the matter? Means the author wondered what was the matter, why she was looking at her. There might be reason behind. She might have been driven by some reasons. That's why she was just pushing him. Her interest in me aroused my curiosity in her. Really, the interest he had put towards the author, that particular activity fueled the intensity of the author to know more about the girl, because the girl seemed to be very disturbed, very very sad that something will make everyone to think, make everyone think. When I had finished my lunch, I asked the waiter. Then soon after having finished the lunch, the author also asked the same question about the girl. The where the girl asked the author, asked the Sarkasia. So this time the author asked, I asked the waiter. The author asked to the waiter, but the girl asked to the cashier. That is the difference. So I asked the waiter, do you know the girl who was sitting out there? The author asked the waiter about the girls who had been sitting above there. This is all about the paragraph. ଯଦି ଓଡ଼ିଆ ଦେଖିବା ଏ ପ୍ୟାରାଗ୍ରାଫରେ ଏଠି ତ ମୁଁ ସେ ମାନେ ଯିଆ ପୂର୍ବଟି ଚାହିଁଦେଲା ଆଉ ସେ ପ୍ରଶ୍ନ ବି କଲା ଯେ ଝିଅଟିଏ ଯିଏକି ବହୁତ ବିଚଳିତ ଥିଲା ସେ ପ୍ରଶ୍ନ କଲା ସେ ପୁରୁଷ ଲୋକଟି ଭାରତୀୟ କି କାହାକୁ ପ୍ରଶ୍ନ କଲେ କେଶିୟରଙ୍କୁ ଆଉ କେଶିୟର ଦଉଥିଲେ ହଁ ହେଇପାରନ୍ତି ସେ ଇଣ୍ଡିଆନ୍ ହେଇପାରନ୍ତି ଆଉ ଯିବା ପରେ ଆଉ ଥରେ ଚାହିଁଲେ ଆଉ ସେ ଚାଲିଗଲା। ଏହିସବୁ ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ଅଥରକୁ ଆଶ୍ଚର୍ଯ୍ୟ କଲା ଆଉ ସେ ଜାଣିବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଥିଲେ ମେଟର ସବୁ କ'ଣ। Her interest in me aroused my curiosity. लेखकଙ୍କର ଜିଜ୍ଞାସା ତାଙ୍କ ପ୍ରତି ବଢ଼ିଲା ସେ କାହିଁକି ଏମିତି କରୁଛନ୍ତି। ଯେମିତି ସେ ଲଞ୍ଚ ଫିନିଶ କଲେ ଲେଖକ ମଧ୍ୟ ୱେଟରଙ୍କୁ ପଚାରିଲେ ଯେ ସେ ଝିଅଟି କିଏ ଯିଏକି ସେଠାରେ ବସିଥିଲେ। ଏହା ହିଁ ମୋଟାମୋଟି ଭାବରେ ଏହାର ପ୍ୟାରାଗ୍ରାଫ। No sir, ଇଏ ଆନ୍ସର ଦେଲେ no sir, I noticed she had a lunch here on Saturday. She goes on pay daily. Perhaps she doesn't earn much. No sir. The waiter answer. No sir. I noticed she had a lunch here on Saturday. Means on every Saturday she comes and has her lunch. She comes on pay day only. Means she paid a daily basis. Perhaps she doesn't earn much. As she paid daily basis, those people who have handsome job, good job, good amount of salary, especially they pay at the end of the month. But this girl paid daily basis. And that indicates that she does not earn much, and she only comes only on Saturday. And other day she doesn't come, and that indicates her poorness or maybe some problem gathering money. ताल से केवल सैटरडे दिन आसंती और सेदिन ही से डेली पैसा पे करंती. She comes on day. Perhaps she does not earn much. आउ से तुम जरा पर से होते बेसी रोजगार करंती नहीं. I was moved by what he said. से जहाँ कोई ले इतने मु बसीभूत हो गए आउ गोटे प्रभावित हो गए. The curiosity I felt about the girl persisted. Relative clause अच्छे. The curiosity I felt about the girl persisted. जीव विषय जो मोर जिज्ञासा चला से आहुर कंटिन्यू है. Means the curiosity, that mystery, that information that aroused, that sprouted in the mind of the author, now continued, now erupted to discover more knowledge. Persisted means continue. Why had she inquired about me? This was the question. Something went on in his mind. The author was asking himself, why had she inquired about me? Who was the master's child? Say Rosama ko jo Jacob was that master's child. I kept thinking. He kept thinking. He continued to keep thinking means continue thinking of her poverty stricken and sad anxious figure. Her poverty stricken means somebody who seems to have been stricken by poverty, have been attacked or struck by poverty. And those people, if you see the body language of those people who are poor, are very easily accessible. You can get them get them identified easily. She is poverty stricken and sad anxious face. Sad means her face seemed very pale. Seem to be having some problem, and that's something that flash on her face. So she was flashing some empty on her face. This something sad anxious figure. I kept her in mind. Could I help her in any way? This was something as the author was thinking, that if I could help her in any way, because she seems to be having in some problem. Therefore, now the author went after her to look for that girl, what kind of problem or what was the problem that she was nourishing had been cultivating. The week passed. Saturday came again. I went to the same restaurant. As I entered, I saw her sitting at the same table as before. She was eating. I went up to her and took the chair opposite her. The week passed. So next day, as the author was told that only on Saturday she came. Therefore, author also waited for the day. The next Saturday, the girl was found to be sitting in the same place. Came again. I went to the same restaurant. He was appointed at that restaurant. Last time he found that girl sitting. As I entered, I saw. No sooner did he enter, then he found that girl. Sitting in the same table as before, as earlier. She was eating. She was busy eating. She was found to be eating during the time when the author entered to the restaurant, and she was eating, and they were sitting in the particular table where last time before. I went up to her. Now the author moved up to him. And took the chair opposite her and found him seated opposite her. The week passed. सप्ताह सरीगला तापरे से साटाटा को से रेस्टोरेंट को लेखक मध्य गले आ टीम जिमती ही गले से पाई गले से ये जगह रे बसिकी खाउछन्ते तो लेखक सेटा दैकी तांकर ऊपर चेयर रे बसिले. This I went to a vegetarian restaurant. Gote verb achi, therefore simple sentence. It was not that this is also a simple sentence. Can gote verb है simple नहीं है, बस दीटा verb है simple है पर बा complex, compound है पर बा complex है पर. There were people eating and drinking. ऐ ना सीखला. दीटा verb एंटी भी अच्छी. Therefore it is compound sentence. The restaurant was very crowded. A simple sentence. Restaurant बहुत crowded थी. जनगहଳି थिला. Passive अछि. Very crowded. I will very soon give you video on passive. I saw that some of the chairs and table had been pushed into a corner. ये complex sentence है. काहे कि गोटे बार एठी आसिला आ एटा गोटे बार आसिला. Pushed सब पुट अछि. That रे connection अछि. ये complex sentence है. केना ये noun clause रे जीवो. Next, I chose the corner table. Seated myself. And some compound started skimming through newspaper. A compound sentence. At that moment, I noticed a very young girl looking at me. At that moment, I noticed a very young looking girl. A very young girl looking at me. It would have been therefore it a complex sentence. Her eyes were large and they had a sad expression. And assigula, therefore compound sentence. Express word expression is mutable deadly. As she was going out, she asked. As gute hela ye gute conjunction. Adi amko matlab comma seita tale ethi